Hi, I'm Dr. Chris Bergwell.
I'm Father Scott Trainer.
And welcome to the series of videos that we're doing for Pastorate leadership teams on Patrick Lencioni's book, The Advantage. We've covered the first two disciplines. We've covered sort of the introduction of why does this matter, why is it important. And now in this video, we want to look at disciplines 3 and 4 of organizational health, over communicate clarity and reinforce clarity. Father, part of good clarity is speaking slowly and clearly.
Neither of us are any good at this. I don't know if you know that, Dr. Chris Bergwell, but we are terrible at this. So sorry.
So we're gonna treat these together, Father, because I think they're pretty straightforward for pastorate leadership teams. What does over communicate clarity mean? What's it all about?
Well, you can look at it in two ways. So once the leadership team has really come to a cohesive, shared clarity about those
6 critical questions.
The 6 critical questions we just talked about in creating clarity. It is important that then be constantly reinforced throughout the organization. So top to bottom in the organization, you want everyone to be aware of what those things are and be conversant about them, okay? Yes.
Well, yeah, I know you're like he can tell. Because it does no good for that to stay within the leadership.
Yeah,
team.
No.
If it's just there, that's good for the leadership team. But the whole point of this is to make the entire organization healthy. It's not just the leadership team.
It's building organizational
health.
Yeah. A culture of a healthy organization,
Yep.
not just the team.
Right.
Correct. So that cascading communication. But on an ongoing basis, when you're identifying what's most important right now, or you're defining objectives, or even when you just make decisions as a leadership team, there should always be a very intentional moment, like we said in the last video, like the intentional moment of asking, are we clear about who's going to do what by when, as just an ongoing in every interaction kind of discipline. This discipline is when we make a decision, or we're taking a step, to consciously ask who else needs to know this. And I'm just going to say, in parish life, pastorate life, this is critical. There's so much energy and hurt feelings and misunderstanding and confusion and drama that gets stirred up when, the pastor and the bookkeeper knew what was going on, but no one else did. Or pastor, the secretary knew what's going on, no one else does. And then people fill in the gaps and conspiracy theories get started, and it's just okay, that really happens all the time. So when we're deciding a thing as a leadership team, there should be a very intentional moment. How can we over-communicate clarity? What's the cascading communication? Who do we need to inform? What's the best way to inform them? How do we shape that message so that it can be best received by what audience? So define the audiences, define the means of communication, define what the message is, and tailor the message to the audience and the mode of communication.
Right. And who's going to do it?
And who's going to do it?
Yep.
And by when?
And by when?
And by when? That's right.
We talked about that sometime. I think.
Yeah.
Great. So anything else with discipline 3, over communicate clarity?
No, and Pat talks about this in different videos from his table group consulting, but he's very much like ideological conflict. People never do this too much, right? People always fall short. And it should be something like people are like, yes, enough. We've heard it. We got it. Yep. That's when you know you're getting close to adequately over-communicating.
Absolutely. Right. And then finally, the 4th discipline of organizational health is then to reinforce clarity. So
I just want to take a step back.
Yeah,
so
please.
If you ever find yourself in your staff meetings or your leadership team, we put it on the website and it was in the bulletin. Why are people asking all these questions? Mm-hmm. Now you know why over-communicating clarity is really, really important.
Yep.
Because that's probably not going to cut it.
Right.
Because people very irregularly attend to those things or remember what was there. And, internally in an organization, we're like, no, we made this known. We put it out there. And it did not penetrate. So we really have to challenge ourselves to be way outside our comfort zone of over communicating.
Well, the whole thing, just to reiterate this, you have to hear something 7 times in order to really hear it. That's borne out to be true time and time again.
Right on.
Great. Okay, so reinforcing clarity is the 4th discipline of organizational health. What's this about?
You tell me. No. It's really about well, it's a simple chapter, but it's really about hiring for culture.
Yep.
Right. So when you understand what your core values are, when you understand what you are all about, what we do, what your strategic anchors are, you really want to hire for people who events or give evidence of a capacity to engage in these healthy behaviors. So people who can have that vulnerability, enter into relationships of vulnerability-based trust. People who have a capacity to enter into healthy ideological conflict. People who really can come into a meeting and when we make a commitment, go out of that meeting like owning that as if it was their own favorite idea. People who in an encouraging and upbuilding way can have good peer-to-peer accountability and receive good peer-to-peer accountability, and people who are really interested in results. So if you think of those behaviors for a healthy organization, when you have a chance to hire, you really want to be in your interviewing process looking for people who have that kind of capacity. It doesn't take much to disrupt these healthy habits if a person is just incapable or unwilling to engage in these behaviors and disciplines.
Yep, great. Anything else with discipline 4 that comes to your mind? I think that's a great summary.
Yep.
So 4 disciplines for organizational health: build a cohesive leadership team, create clarity, over-communicate clarity, and reinforce clarity. But where the rubber meets the road with a lot of these will be in the meeting structure, and that's the next part of what Pat unfolds in The Advantage, and that's what we're going to talk about next as well.